Shalom. Call Haloyim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. I wanted to make a video concerning this phrase, thief in the night. And of course, as you can see, I typed it in. And in the New Testament, those two words, thief and night, appeared 2 times. So first, I just wanted to read 2 Peter 3, verse 10. It says, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up." So when we go back and we read the very first phrase, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night," now you get a semicolon, "in the which the heavens shall pass away with the great noise." That great noise is referring to the nuclear missiles, because you have all of these different nations and they're putting all of their money into their military might and developing these nuclear weaponry, nuclear weapons. So they're called ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles. And that's what's going to be shot off during World War III, all of these different nations, and that's what's going to completely burn up Babylon the Great, as well as the fire coming from the chariots when Yahushua returns. But I wanted to bring this out just to link these two precepts and I guess link the phrase to the missiles, because as you can see, that thief in the night is referring to the nuclear missiles. I mentioned this at camp. I just wanted to speak on it again. Not a real deep, super breakdown, but I do think it's interesting because obviously we break this down and we talk about how the Lord is going to come as a thief in the night, referring to a day in which really we're unaware, even us, right? When it comes to Jacob's trouble fully manifesting, when it comes to the MOTB being really pushed out there and mandated, really, we don't know these things. We don't know when exactly all these events will take place. So yeah, Jacob's trouble, the day of the Lord, it will come as a thief in the night. But really, it's talking about those missiles, because they're going to come when really no one is expecting it, and especially because these people here in America don't believe that America will lose World War III. They don't believe that this nation can get touched by nuclear missiles. But it will. So these missiles are going to come as a thief in the night. 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 2, it says, "For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night." Let's keep reading. "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." Of course, Jacob's trouble. Of course, the famine and the pestilences and cannibalism, things like that. But for damn sure, the nuclear missiles. No one is escaping that. You have a lot of people, they're going to take the MOTB. And even in that time, they're going to be having a feeling of peace and safety. Oh, we get a little bit of money. Oh, we get a little bit to eat. Everything is good as long as we take this chip. They're going to take it, and even in that time, they're going to be saying, we're safe. But no, without knowing prophecy, they're not going to have any clue that the missiles are coming. And they're not going to be able to escape, and that's that sudden destruction. Now, when we jump over to Joel chapter 3, it goes deeper into it. Daniel, Hosea, Joel. Joel 3. Now, Joel chapter 2. Now, when you read this chapter, it's going into the day of the Lord. Check this out. We'll start at verse 1. "Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain." And we do that by prophesying, by making these videos, by going out on the street and letting the elect know what's coming. "Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh for it is nigh at hand, semicolon, a day of darkness and of gloominess. So now it goes on to explain what the day of the Lord entails. A day of clouds and of thick darkness. Why? Because of the nuclear missiles. As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there hath not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. So now it begins to go into the nuclear missiles. So damn near this whole chapter, at least half of it, goes on to explain, talk about the nuclear missiles. And it's given us that same verbiage, the day of the Lord. Just like we read in, I believe it was 2 Peter, right? It's coming as a thief in the night. Why? Because of these missiles. So it goes on to explain the nuclear missiles, a fire devoured before them in verse 3. In verse 4, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, right? So that's how we know we're talking about missiles now. Like the noise of chariots in verse 5. Before their face, the people shall be much pain in verse 6. So now check this out. When we jump down to verse 8, it says, neither shall one thrust another, because even though it's going to be a lot of nuclear missiles shot off, they're not going to be hitting each other. No, it says they shall walk every one in his path. Remember, we're not talking about people. That was an analogy referring to these missiles. They shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. So how can missiles fall upon a sword? Well, that sword right there is talking about the nuclear defense systems. So these nuclear defense systems are not going to be able to stop. They're not going to be able to detect nor stop these missiles being shot from these other nations. So it doesn't matter what kind of defense system America has, it's not going to be good enough. The Lord is going to make sure that these missiles get through and that they land on their target, that they don't hit one another, and that they land here in Babylon the Great and destroy this place. That's why the day of the Lord is going to come as a thief in the night, because nothing is going to be able to stop these missiles from coming. And these people, they're not going to be expecting it. Even if we go to war, you got people saying right now, oh, well, America's not going to lose. America can't lose a war. Look how strong our nation is. Well, they're not going to win if Russia, China, Iran all band together, especially when the Lord returns, because them chariots are going to have a big part in Babylon's destruction as well. So that's that thief in the night referring to these nuclear missiles. Obviously, like I mentioned again, we break down the verse, and a lot of brothers break it down just talking about Jacob's trouble and everything that's going to transpire at that time. But for the most part, that phrase is going into these nuclear missiles. There are more verses, but no need to make it long. It's not a super deep breakdown. Lord's will, it was edifying to the elect. Call Haloyim Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rachak Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.